Hey, everyone, we have some thunderstorms that have rolled through Benton County. And here's the thing, Zach, the models were terrible today.
Yeah, they had no storms whatsoever
Nope.
until later on this evening.
And here's the deal, it's the small stuff that makes the big stuff happen. And it was an outflow boundary. That's what it was, a little outflow boundary that caused the clouds to bubble up a little more than expected. And, it might be time to stop the camera. I believe we have an amazing time lapse. And then we got a couple of time lapses rolling. Let me show you one of them here. We have located at Posey Mountain. This camera has been seeing multiple downbursts, by the way. I mean, we're talking thunderstorms that developed and multiple downbursts and lightning and developing updrafts. I can't wait to see this. Maybe we'll share it with you before we head out, so you could kind of tune in on that. Here's a look at Rogers. I mean, that's the thunderstorm that's off in the distance, by the way. So you can see it's starting to fall apart, and you could tell visually because the anvil of the thunderstorm isn't as crisp. And where is this for? That's a good question. Well, let's take a look here at Heil Heating Cooling Mega Doppler. There's the thunderstorm. There's the severe thunderstorm that goes until 7 o'clock. But, Zach, this is not nearly as strong as it was a few minutes ago.
Yeah, the hail is definitely a lot smaller and still seeing some heavy rain. The lightning has gone down just a bit. But, again, still seeing these storms. So if you have plans this evening, I would keep an eye on the radar because they might be having some impacts.
Unless you live in Fayetteville or nothing happens.
Yeah, that nothing happens.
Or Springdale, nothing happens right now. The Springdale Spritz, if you will. But go back in time. Go back an hour here on Mega Doppler, and we're going to show you how strong that thunderstorm was. I want you to zoom in on that, Zach, and we can look at the hail core. So let's zoom way in just east of Bentonville. And you can see it right there. I'm going to take the camera off the screen here. But that was the thunderstorm earlier when it was severe. And this was basically just a little before 6 o'clock. Now, if you look at the hail core, you let me know if you guys got any hail in the Rogers area. It might have been quarter size just on the east side. Loving the cooler breezes, says Will. Yeah, it's going to be a lot cooler, too, next week as we have. It might not be cooler temperature-wise. I mean, it still will be. But it's going to be noticeably feeling cooler thanks to lower humidity. But that is earlier, and then move along in time, and you can see that hail core really ramping up over the Prairie Creek area. We'll take a look at Ernesto, Brady. And, yeah, Ernesto's got some crazy winds. I posted on social media a view of one of the islands off of Bermuda. Just crazy surf. I mean, deadly surf. There's Prairie Creek. There's the hail core. And then that's right over Beaver Lake. And then it kind of drops southeast. This, by the way, was 6:10 this evening. And then we continue over time. And then you can see that hail core dying out. So if anything, the only reason that warning is still in effect is because of, let's go back to the most recent. And you can see the hail core is basically all gone. So the only reason that that's still in effect is because of the winds potentially. So what's up with Prairie Creek? 2009, 2000. No, it wasn't a tornado. And no, just a little bit of hail. But you're right. It was a pretty bad storm. It had some strong winds. And you let me know if you guys encountered any damage at all. So what's going to happen the rest of the night? That's a good question. I'm going to answer that. But first of all, why, and Zach, this is important to point out, why did these storms develop unexpectedly, and why did the models do such a terrible job? Well, let's look at it. This is the reason. Outflow boundaries. So convective outflow from last night parked itself. Remember, an outflow boundary is kind of like a differential heating boundary where you have clouds that are kind of bubbling up, and sometimes those clouds bubbling up is just enough to let them form into thunderstorms. So what's going on, man? Zach is. Yep. There's a look at live Doppler radar. And you can see on live Doppler radar, that's the thunderstorm that was severe earlier. Now, I want to go back to 6 hours back. All right, we're going to show you this. Here's a look. Everything's pretty quiet. And then all of a sudden, when we did that update at 4 o'clock. It didn't take long, but you could see that little, Zach, you could see that little cell popping up right there. And then that was the beginning stages of the thunderstorms. And then look at that. And then they basically trained over the area. So that's the first severe thunderstorm warning. Pretty strong winds in Bella Vista, too, right about at this point. And a lot of these storms had downburst potential. And now look at, I don't even think it's going to be severe much longer.
Probably not.
In fact, they just decreased the size of the severe thunderstorm warning. So north of Clifty, you're getting a severe thunderstorm warning, but that's about it. All right, so what's ahead, though? That's a good question. Let's see. We've got more energy moving in. We're still under a severe thunderstorm watch that goes until 11 o'clock. And there's a look at more energy moving in. You see that? At the very end? That's dropping southeast.
That's going to be here pretty soon before you know it. And I think it's worth noting that storm just south of Western Grove, that's starting to increase in strength. Seeing some hail with that now. And
let's take a look
in on that.
Yeah.
That storm is starting to increase. Some hail approaching 3/4 of an inch. Gonna have to watch that one. But yeah, so it's so hot and it's so humid. So it's not surprising that these storms are just blowing up.
Yeah, no kidding. Very hot and humid. The humidity was through the roof today. It was absolutely horrendous. Chris Ebert's on here. Says outer high cloud tops starting to show up in Mountain Home. That means these updrafts are strengthening. And hey, just to let you know, Chris, you don't know this. I haven't told you yet. So surprise, we're getting another weather bug camera from the one that was just vanished into thin air.
Gone.
Axis Communications, talk to the people. They are going to be sending us a new weather camera. So maybe you can help us put that up. We're excited about that. All right. Why does it only go until 11? That is a good question. Thunderstorms are going to happen beyond 11, but remember, the later you get, the less instability. The less instability, the weaker the updrafts. The weaker the updrafts, the less the severe potential. Yep. That's why it only goes until 11 o'clock. Makes sense. But I did want to show you this. This is the outflow boundary. You can really see it well on the satellite and radar. So check this out. This right here, I'm going to go back to 6 hours, Zach, and we'll let this load. But that little dashed line, you can see it. You see how those clouds are bubbling up? So right along that outflow boundary is where the thunderstorms just had enough oomph to form into giant thunderstorms. And that's exactly where it happened. Look, you can see the boundary kind of lifting northward. Now, here's what I want to do, just for fun. Because we can do this, we can loop it a long time. So let's do this. Let's loop it, and let's go over the past 24 hours. And let's see where this outflow boundary comes from. Well, there it is right there. See it coming through? Kind of stalls out. Let's see if it lifts north. So it looks like it's from this complex of storms that came through yesterday. Now, yesterday was interesting. We knew the chance of rain would be there. There were some storms that popped up, but I mean, Zach, it was pretty much a dud.
Yeah, we didn't get much.
Now, there was a little bit. I don't know if you saw this, a little after midnight. There was a pretty good downpour in Bella Vista. So do we have rain overnight Thursday into Friday morning? I think we did.
Yeah, believe so.
All right. Now, someone's asking, Ice Cream Sandwich 4. I love that name. Someone's asking, when are these storms happening? Well, let me tell you this. We can't look at the models because they're pretty trash. Here's a look at the HRRR, the newest one that updated. It finally has storms somewhat in southwestern Carroll County. You see that? But watch what happens overnight here. We're going to put this into motion. And there's that complex of storm. Doesn't even have that complex in southeast Kansas yet. But there it is coming through 10, 11. Now, see, this is where the severe potential is there. And then we kind of get more heavy rainmakers instead of severe. But That's a lot of precipitation. That's a lot of storms. Will it come true? That remains to be seen. We'll see. Here's another model. I want to show you this because this was just horrendous today. I mean, just not even in the ballpark. Here's a look at that, and notice how Zach, what's missing in that?
I think the storms.
Yeah, let's zoom out a little bit. Okay, let's go to Mega Doppler. That's real time. That's the model. This is supposed to be the highest resolution computer model. That just shows you right there. When you guys ask about timing, the only way we know about timing is to look at these computer model forecasts, the future tracks. They're guidance. It's not perfect. So while I did say, around midnight and after, that's the most likely time for storms. However, there's still some storms popping up. Now, look at that. That's just garbage. It doesn't have anything. So why even look at it beyond that? But at least there's a complex of storms. But here's the thing. That's probably not going to be as intense in Benton County because we've already have rain-cooled air. In fact, the temperatures are noticeably cooler in the river valley. Check this out. Well, that's a pretty shot. But here's the temperatures. Rogers is at 73.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But just north, though.
95 in Cassville.
Yeah, so not everybody has seen the rain.
Exactly.
So
That's a good point.
There's still some pockets that are still really unstable.
Yeah. Which is why we're going to have more storms, I think. Yeah. Fayetteville 95. I think storms are coming to Fayetteville. Brendan says, getting the wind in Marble right now. That makes sense because that boundary. There's the severe thunderstorm watch. Excessive heat warnings throughout the rest of the evening. Then it turns to heat advisories tomorrow. It's not an excessive heat warning again, but there's that severe thunderstorm watch. You can see the counties that it includes. Let's do this, Zach. Let's show them this. This is the on the west of the county line. It dropped quick, maybe 6 raindrops in the sky. It's beautiful. Yeah, there's some beautiful clouds. So here's a look at the frontal boundary. That, by the way, is going to bring some much cooler weather. Yep, feeling cooler outflow on the west side of Fayetteville now. So that makes sense. But you can see the energy that's moving in. Now, here's the thing, Zach. I'm looking at this, and that might be missing us a little more to the – no, it's going to drop south. Yeah. That looks like that's coming in. So later on this evening, more thunderstorms looking likely.
It might be a bit sooner than what that HRRR had.
Oh, way sooner. Look at the split here. There's a left split.
Maybe even sooner than what the graph has.
The graph didn't have anything.
Well, I mean, the stuff that's going to come
later
on.
Oh, it's all going to be earlier.
Yeah.
So with that said, we don't just look at computer models. We make actual educated guesses with the forecast. And so check this out. This is our timing here of the storm chances. So we already have 30% in there. And then we bump up to 40. And then it really ramps up overnight. Now, we might need to bump those chances up a little earlier, but regardless, I think the best chance of widespread rain and thunderstorm activity will be in the early morning hours tomorrow. Severe threat goes downhill, and the risk for storms will be going downhill as well. Just to let you know, yeah, the storms earlier were shaking the trees a lot. There was a lot of rain and some hail, mostly pea-size, so that's important to know, and I appreciate that report. No threat of tornadoes with this system. The base of these thunderstorms is just too high. Ping pong size hail, especially in the yellow shaded area. We already saw that. Damaging winds, 60, 70 mile an hour winds. So that is the severe weather hazards. And here's a look at the threat. As we have a severe thunderstorm watch, we have also a marginal risk. And most of the area is under that slight risk, level 2 out of 5. Okay, Zach, we only got a few more minutes. I think it's time to do some sneak peeks on the time lapses. What do you think?
I think so.
Yeah, I think we can stop some of them. Here's Gaither Mountain There's the Gaither Mountain camera. You know what? I don't want to stop that. That sunset may be absolutely epic with the anvil clearing out.
Yeah, but Posey.
Posey, let's look at that. Yeah, Posey, I think we can stop. All right. So here's what we need to do. Power outages, possible, as always, with severe storms. That's when the camera went out. Yeah, go back a little bit. Maybe, yeah. Yep, zoom out a little bit. Oh, yeah, that's when they first pop. All right, so here's what we're going to do. Are you going to do the screen capture, Zach? And then we'll bring up weather 3. Ooh, lost power at War Eagle, and it still haven't gotten it back. That's good information. I appreciate that, Trace. Yeah, War Eagle had have to get a hotel room for the night. Well, War Eagle, I can tell you this: they got that big hail core that came through, and some strong winds too. Most likely a downburst that happened. All right, so stick around. We got the time lapse here showing up here soon. Zach is getting her ready. Hit escape. Minimize. All right, I haven't seen this yet, so you guys are going to be witnessing it as well as we do in real time. So sit back, grab your Jack Link's beef jerky instead of popcorn.
Don't mess with Sasquatch.
Nope, don't mess with. You can play him in tennis though. He's not too good at
No,
tennis.
he's not
player.
very good at
No,
tennis.
we can mess him. We can
Yeah.
mess with him and other stuff. All right, ready? Here we go, Zach. Hit play. Let's watch it.
Now this is sped up.
Yeah, 64 times. Look at the updrafts going up. Oh, that's cool. Now it really starts cranking.
Or we got some power outages in Bella Vista.
And in War Eagle too. There's the downdraft. Now look at that, some heavy rain. Now we're about to see some microburst potential. Oh, look at the rain foot there. Whoa. Did you see how that accelerated? Oh, man, that's sweet. Several downbursts. Look at that. That's why your power's out. Oh, there was another microburst on the left side. That is cool. Yeah, then it kind of. Oh, another one. Look at that. That's the other part of the severe thunderstorm. Another rain foot. Look at that sucker coming down. What do you think, Zach?
Pretty impressive.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Wow, look at how heavy that rain is.
Glad we got this camera.
Yeah. Oh man, that is gorgeous. All right, that's gonna cut off here pretty soon.
Yeah.
There's a
Oh,
lightning.
some lightning.
bolt.
Yeah.
That might be what knocked it out briefly.
Got rain down pretty good.
Yeah, it did.
Gone.
And then it goes out. Well, that was pretty awesome. All right, bring up real quick. Go to Gaither Mountain. Yep, raining hard in Marble right now. Go back to this real quick. Oh, Zach, hold on just a sec. All right, go back. I don't have it up right now. That was cool, Andy, wasn't it? We're going to speed that up, and I'm going to render that, and we're going to post that on social media. But we also got a distant view of the thunderstorm. You watched a time lapse of that thunderstorm, so that was a time lapse.
Get it going.
Okay, hold on just a sec. Let's do a hit play. It's a much shorter time lapse.
Keep it like an eye.
Yep, there's Gaither Mountain. Enjoy this one. That's the storm off in the distance. And look at the back sheared anvil as well as the anvil. Look how crisp it is. That's where that storm is a little stronger and severe. So that's sped up 64 times. Yeah, there were several downbursts, weren't there, Zach?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, so now the storm just kind of weakens, and then it kind of loses its luster. But maybe that sunset could be epic underneath those, underneath that anvil and the clouds if it sticks around long enough, which I think it will. Hopefully, the sun can peek through there. That'll be cool to watch. So we'll just, we're still rolling on that, right? We're still recording.
Yep.
All right.
Gaither Mountain it is.
Yeah, Gaither Mountain is. All right. So one last look at radar.
Yes, sir.
Oh, severe thunderstorm warning now for that complex in southeast Kansas that's dropping southeast. Just to let you know, Doug, there's power out in east side of Bella Vista. There's power out in War Eagle. So there's several areas that don't have power. We should maybe do a power outage update. Yeah, pretty cool stuff. All right, guys. Well, we got to run here. Zach is going to be doing an update here. I'll have that pop on. Hold on just a second. Got a storm spotter calling.
Gotta make my
What's going on, Michael? No tornado. But no, I have a video on it. There's multiple microbursts, multiple downbursts. There was some really strong winds, no doubt. But yeah. 90. Yeah, I believe it. Where was that at? Yeah, exactly. That's exactly where a downburst happened. We can see it on the camera. I could tell you with 100% confidence that it's not a tornado. Was not a tornado. The bases of the thunderstorms are way too high, and there was no rotation. And I'm looking at the time lapse. I'm about to post it here. Yeah. Well, you got to remember too that sometimes they look like couplets, but they're called mid-altitude radial convergence. So it's called a MARC signature, M-A-R-C, which is a sign of convergence aloft, which is what causes the downburst potential. Yeah, yeah. And I saw that too. I saw the red and the green next to each other, but you got to remember if it's in line with the radial, that means that it's not rotation. It's a microburst or a downburst potential. Yep. 7 on KXNW, and we're live right now on Facebook Live too. So yeah, you can watch that time lapse, but I'm gonna post it. It was pretty awesome. All right. Hey, later, man. That was Michael Craddock, one of our spotters. All right, here's Zach. Stand by.
Your forecast first, sponsored by Stanley Steamer.
Tracking storms on this Friday. Right now we are under a severe storm watch. Now that is for the pink area right there. This will be in effect from right now through 11 p.m. And if we take weather 1, I will show you the radar. Now here is a Gaither Mountain view. Looking west, seeing some storms, and temperatures are very warm out there for some, 98 degrees. Those areas have not seen the rain yet, but check out Rogers, around 20 degrees cooler. Here's the radar right here. Again, most areas are dry, but in our northern counties, portions of Carroll, Boone, Madison, seeing some storms. As of right now, nothing is severe. Seeing lightning, seeing heavy rain though, and as we put that in motion, these storms kind of training over the same area. So as we are expecting more rain later on tonight, flooding, that could be a potential for us. Another look at that severe storm watch. Again, that is for our northern counties, and that is in effect through 11 p.m. Temperatures tonight will be staying pretty warm as those rain chances hold on, even picking up, especially tomorrow morning. I will time that out as your news starts right now.
Proudly covering the Northwest Arkansas community, this is KNWA News at 7 on KXNW.
And thanks for joining us here at 7 o'clock. I'm Doug Warner. With this weather that's pushed through, I can tell you there are just a handful of outages in the area. Looking at the Electric Cooperative of Arkansas's page, kind of gives you a sense of maybe Carroll Electric, showing me around 600 plus in Benton County without power right now. Also checking the SWEPCO page, just a handful there. Just a very small number of SWEPCO customers, a majority of Carroll Electric companies, again, in the Benton County area, a couple in Carroll, a handful in Madison. We'll keep watching that as we move forward. There you go. There's a good look at it right there. So not as bad as it could have been. Looks like things are holding strong, and we'll keep watching that to see if that situation remedies itself anytime soon. All right, still many more questions than answers tonight after a man was struck and killed on train tracks this morning, very close to the U of A campus. This happened at a crossing at Frisco Avenue, just off Gregg Avenue, a couple blocks from campus. Fayetteville police tell us they got a call from the train conductor after that person feared they had struck something on the tracks. The only thing we've been told so far is the victim was in his 20s. Also tonight, a major traffic mess in Bentonville, now clear after emergency responders had to shut down a major road due to a gas leak. The city of Bentonville says Southeast 14th, just west of I-49, now back open after Black Hills Energy cleared that leak. And the town of Avoca has declared a boil order. If you live because of a possible contamination tied to a main break.
You got time.
A local nonprofit calling on people to step up. Be a voice for children in foster care. That group is called PASA, representing many right here in Northwest Arkansas. And its mission is to connect children with compassionate volunteers who will advocate.
All right, guys.
Here's KWA's Gabriella Field.
We got a story. Okay, now I can talk because we're in the studio. 6,700 customers without power in the Benton County area. So 6,700 customers without power.
In our corner right there?
Yep.
Which site do you use for that?
Poweroutage.us. 6,708. The majority of them are Carroll Electric, which makes sense because that's in. Yeah. What were you looking at?
Say what?
Which site were you looking at?
Well, I went to Carroll. When I clicked on Carroll's outages, it took me to this cooperative page.
Okay.
I'm not seeing anything.
Go to poweroutage.us. Okay, that's a good site.
It wasn't showing up in big map.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Okay, guys, we're going to shut it down. We're going to watch these storms coming in. When they start approaching, we'll hop back on here. But be looking for that time lapse on social media because that really had a good view of multiple downbursts. So, all right, take care, guys. Have a good one. Enjoy the rest of your Friday. It's feeling better out there. Some cooler weather. But much cooler weather comes and lower dew points as well. So we're enjoying that. Take care, guys. Have a good one. Thanks for watching.